Hey folks, Stanger from the Six here, coming to you from the Florida RV Super Show 2026. And I'm with Ryan, and he is the marketing manager with Pebble. And we are here looking at the Pebble Flow. Really exciting trailer, especially for those of you that are driving electric vehicles. But even if you're not, and this thing has just got a phenomenal amount of solar. It's got a self-propulsion system, huge batteries, but I don't want to steal your thunder, Ryan, so I'll let you talk a little bit about the Flow.
Yeah, it seems you already know a lot about it, but exactly that. It's got a giant battery, motors in the rear wheels, you can move it around your campsite, solar up top, auto dump. It's got a whole bunch of features. Happy to walk you through it.
Sure.
Well, come inside, guys. So inside the Flow here, you can see, you may have already seen, we've got kind of two bed situations. I'll jump to the rear one first. So we've got a little desk chair here that we're just gonna throw under the bed there and then pull this lever. And you'll notice I don't have to move any of that stuff. The bed cantilevers, or the desk, excuse me, cantilevers out. Bed comes down and just make sure to fix up your sheets and you're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and lift that right back up.
So that thing's on struts that's really helping you out, right?
You've got it, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then plenty of open air storage up here, plenty of storage down throughout here. And three almost identical storage compartments down there. This area can also be used effectively as like a bench if you just want to chill and hang out. We've got our kind of exit emergency window there in case you needed to get out in an emergency. And then as you come further forward, you've got more storage. Often your utensils, your dishes, all the heavier stuff would be stored down here. We've obviously got more displayed right now. And then these are all locking compartments. More storage. And then as you continue on, we'll go up top, kind of more towards what I would think most people would use it for their pantries. We've got a little bit of an electrical compartment there, but otherwise, plenty more storage there.
The kitchen also has a large sink and a removable induction cooktop.
Plenty of space.
Yeah. And then, let's see. In here, you've got your dry bath. Comfortable for anyone who's about 6'2" or shorter. It starts to become a challenge once you're above 6'3", but for me at 5'10", I've got no problems at all showering in here. Adjustable shower head for different amounts of water. You've got your mirror medicine cabinet. Water, which I think based on the iPad, we can switch to turn it on. Let me go ahead and do that for you. We'll go in here. We'll go there, tanks, and we'll go to tank, which it already is. So now we'll go ahead and turn it on. I can switch to city and effectively turn it off because now we're not connected to the city water, so it'll transition as the pipes lose pressure.
Excellent.
Fill, flush, all that. I'm not going to open up the toilet, but obviously there's your toilet there.
Now that's a macerating toilet.
It is, yes. We've got 3 macerators that lead to our auto dump feature. So if you want to move all of your extra stuff out, it goes through the either the gray water with the shower or the black water, and then pumps it all out for you through a 1-inch little pipe there.
That's very cool. Now this glass is also, it can be clear?
It can.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, before the show started, we didn't actually, we towed this vehicle here and we didn't charge it beforehand, and they just got the electrical turned on for us. We're in our low power mode, and that's one of those features that we actually do not allow you to transition when it's in low power mode. So we're currently charging up, we're at 17%, but in this moment, we're not gonna be able to switch that. So, but that same glass, yes, which would switch to transparent, also applies to the exterior glass, and it goes by zones. So you can have it be the rear, the side, the dinette, or the top, all individually. Beyond that, you got your microwave, your refrigerator. One of the features that we preserve when in low power mode would be the refrigerator. So refrigerator, freezer, pretty large in there. You got a sense of scale with that pizza there. And then a 4-way microwave convection oven up top. So it's a microwave, oven, convection, or air fryer.
Excellent.
And then more storage, important storage, hanging storage, as well as this lower storage compartment, which I've been able to put in up to 3 carry-on travel bags, all in here at the same time, if stacked kind of normally. And then we'll go ahead and close those up. More storage down here. More storage down here. And then further, you've got more storage back here, which, this TV might not be the best position for. But this table, as you may have guessed, does unlock. It moves around, and then it becomes your second bed area. So this lowers down, and then the mattress pads come from off the back here and off the back there to make your bed. And you can remove those 3 in the rear as well if you want even more space. But back to the storage question. This gets into there, so you can get into your gear tunnel from inside or outside the vehicle, and that's what we'll go check out next.
Do you know the dimensions of the bed off the top of your head?
Of the bed, no, I know it's about a full size, but I do not know the exact dimensions.
I know the width of the trailer is 80 inches, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be 80 long. Looks like maybe about 54 to 60, something. Probably 54 would be my guess.
All right. From there, I mean, we've got other things. We've taken the bug screens off for the show, but there are bug screens for all the opening windows and whatnot. And we also have blackout shades, which you may have noticed there was a blackout shade in the closet there. So as you walk around, we do have our cargo area that we're just exploring. From here, there are also 3 outlets, so you can power things from here. Specifically, you might want to power like a Starlink and run the cable out that little port there. The cable comes out here. You can mount the Starlink or just have it on the ground outside. As we come around, we'll talk about the aero box. This aero box goes up and down to make your vehicle and your tow more aerodynamic. It also is more visible through the window there out front. So that is kind of this area here. Specifically also holds your jack and your HVAC. And we will explore the jack in a minute here. But first, we'll continue on. Again, that is a cargo pass-through, so you can put longer things in there and access them from either side. We've got your auto dump area here, so we won't be pulling that out today, but that would be the emascerators that you were talking about earlier. Chop it up, put it through that 1-inch little cable there, and gets you nice and clean. It does through the iPad. That's how you initiate it here. We'll go to auto, hit auto dump, and it will do the process for you. You can do it individually if you wanted. If you wanted to explore emptying your black tank, emptying your gray tank, or transferring your gray to your black, but auto dump would do that all for you. No levers or anything else to pull.
So that's very cool. So if you've run out of gray capacity, you can actually just with a button move the gray water into that black tank.
You've got it, correct.
That's awesome.
And then from here, speaking of tanks, you add the water here. You've got your overflow here. You've got your J1772 and CCS. So those of you familiar with electric vehicles, these are pretty standard plugs. Otherwise, that'd be your 30 amp or 50 amp would eventually go into there. And then if you want, you've got your own NEMA 1450 there. So if you've plugged this in all day and you come out from a little drive to the grocery store, you can go and re-plug in your electric vehicle in there. And I've actually used that a couple times to save me when I've towed, but I didn't really plan my trip ahead of time. One time specifically, I went to an event at RVing's headquarters, was not planning on going whatsoever. And yeah, I ended up there with my Rivian that was at 0% of a charge. This was at 80% of a charge. So I was able to steal power from this and get my Rivian charged back up.
Now, what's the maximum charge speed on the high-speed port there?
Yeah, that is a great question. That is 50 amps. Sorry, 50 kilowatts.
50 kilowatts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So at fast chargers, it's great. Obviously, at a slower, that's gonna be like 11 kilowatts. But yeah. Okay, we're back at the back window here. You do have a 160-pound, 1 3/4 inch hitch to hitch up like bikes, even electric bikes, up to a certain weight. And then we will show kind of one of our more impressive features next. So, a lot of people, it takes them a while to actually hitch up. So if you back up quite a bit, in a second here, I'm gonna trigger a few things. So, first things first, I'm gonna trigger Instacamp. Right now it's deployed, doing that, and then authenticating, because you wanna make sure you actually intend to do that. Oh, I need to unplug it first, excuse me. All right, now that we unplugged, I'm gonna go ahead and trigger Instacamp. I'm gonna authenticate with my finger here. First, the stabilizers are gonna come up, the stairs are gonna go in, and then the levelers are gonna come up, and the jack is going to adjust back to a jack height. So it's gonna take about a minute and a half. I'll step away while that happens. And then once that jack is adjusted, I'm gonna switch to motion. I'm gonna, again, authenticate. I'm gonna accept the risk. I'm gonna adjust the speed. And then from there, I can use the dead man switch and this arrow to remote control it forward, backward, left, or right. So first I'm gonna come forward. And when I get to a little under 5 feet, I can actually use magic hitch to do the rest of it for me. So I'll press and hold magic hitch. And then it will actually do the rest of the alignment for me here. I'll step out of your way again.
That is pretty amazing.
And then once the jack wheel's off the ground, it's up to you to do the rest. Just to connect the cables, and you're good to go.
Big thanks to Ryan for showing us around the Pebble Flow. Now it's time for my final thoughts on this futuristic trailer. Let's start with the things I think they got right. And first up are the remote control features. I mean, come on, who wouldn't love to be able to position the trailer in a campsite by remote control, or hitch their trailer just by holding a button on an iPad? Awesome. Next up is the innovative Murphy bed / desk at the rear of the trailer. I just love the idea of a full-sized bed and desk in one space, and I love the ease of conversion between one and the other. I also really appreciate the futuristic design of this rig. With a large dry bath, a large kitchen counter, and glass everywhere, the future of RVing looks bright and airy indeed. And the fact that you can make the glass opaque at the push of a button is icing on the cake. Now, this RV has an even more unique feature which we didn't discuss in detail during Ryan's tour, and that's the fact that this trailer can essentially drive itself behind your tow vehicle, which would improve electric range or fuel economy substantially. Pebble doesn't publish a range figure for this easy tow mode, so I can't tell you how far it will go between charges. What I can tell you is that the huge 45 kilowatt hour batteries that go along with this system are heavy. The trailer is just over 24 feet long, yet it weighs in at 5,800 pounds with a 6,800 pound GVWR and 680 pounds of tongue weight. So even though the Pebble Flow has a compact footprint, you're going to need a fairly large tow vehicle to handle its weight. Now, when you think of such a huge battery bank, you might think, let me just tow it with my tow vehicle and I'll use that huge battery for long boondocking stops. The trouble with this strategy is that the Flow uses electricity to heat the trailer. Traveling Robert did a test with it where he ran the heat pump for just one night, and with temperatures in the 30s Fahrenheit, the battery went down to 33% state of charge remaining. Yikes! I wish Pebble had gone with propane, just for heating, to save the battery for driving and camping. Let's talk price. In February of 2026, the Founders Editions, which are shipping now and come fully equipped, ring in at $179,750 US. Come spring 2026, Pebble will ship less loaded Magic Pack models, which come in around $150,000 US nicely equipped. Later in 2026, they'll start delivering standard models, which don't have the drivetrain but do have the large battery pack, and they start at $113,500 US. All in all, I really love the design, styling, floor plan, and high-tech features of the Pebble Flow. I also love the idea of a trailer that can help pull its own weight while towing. As it is, the Pebble is a propane heating system away from me wanting one. What do you think? Could you make a fully electric camper work? Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to see another premium camper that uses aerodynamics and lightweight to solve range problems, click the link on the screen. Thanks for watching and take care.